USB?
Onde quiseres. Do lado, onde tenhas.
Pronto. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys for staying up till the last talk. I tried to make it interesting enough and to make it also very interactive. So please feel free to raise your hand and ask questions at any point, okay? I think there's a bit of delay here. How do I share like the whole screen here? It's super weird to see myself speaking.
What could possibly go wrong with three computers?
Sorry. That's it? Ah, yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Vai ter sempre delay de 20 segundos.
Tá bem, tá bem. Obrigada. Okay. Sorry, guys. I changed the setup until the last time, so they did their best. Thank you. So I will talk a bit about myself. My name is Ana. In the internet world, digital world, my name is Blue Bug Porcupine. That's you'll see up in a bit. I'm information security specialist here in Mindera. I've been working here for a year now. And before that, and in my spare time, which is not a lot, I am a pen tester and a bug bounty hacker, which basically means that I get paid for hacking companies, which is pretty cool. I studied in Mexico, information security, information technology engineer. And then I decided that I wanted to change airs. So I went all the way to London to study a master's in information security. And I did a brief specialization on password attacks and password security. And we will see a bit of that, how to run password attacks so that you guys better understand how to be secure with your own passwords. So I like to believe that if we understand how the attack works, we understand how to be safe. So let's learn how to break stuff to be safe. That's basically it. I'm a promoter of girls in engineering because you don't see a lot of women in cybersecurity specifically. And I like to change that. And I am a proud mom of a 2-year-old future hacker, hopefully, at some point. He already likes to break stuff, so we're up to a good start. Now, I will start talking about something that is called cyber hygiene. Okay, and in today's world, where we have internet 24/7, where we have cell phones, social media, we have gaming online, where we meet people that we don't actually know, but we need to talk to them, interact with them, and we share a lot of information with them because we are gaming and we just don't care. We have a lot of things on our houses, appliances that are connected to the internet. We have speakers, refrigerators, we have toys. I mean, we have toys that are connected to the internet. And I don't know you guys, but that's pretty scary to me. To see my little boy playing with stuff that are connected to the internet and that it doesn't necessarily have the security measures that it should have. Okay? And of course, online dating, because the pandemic brought us this whole war of online dating that already existed, but with this pandemic, it just peaked. And online dating platforms became one of the major spots for hackers and cyber criminals. Okay, so I remember myself, I did some online dating. Here's my husband. We made online dating. And one of the things that I did before meeting a guy, I need to secure myself, to look out for myself. So besides letting know my friends that I was going out with someone or stuff like that, I will do a bit of reverse engineering of that guy. So I will take the profile and I will reverse image the photos that they have loaded, that they were public. Okay, this is legal because it was public. And I will start. Don't get scared. I will look up these photos to see if they were actually who they say they were. And I found some cases where they actually were a completely different person, some cases where they actually were that person they were saying they be. So it was pretty cool to apply security tips on a daily basis, not daily basis, but daily life, like simple stuff. So those tips I will share with you, and this is why this talk is called Hacks to Hack the Attacker. We will learn how to hack stuff so that we can hack before we get hacked. Okay, so in order to keep ourselves safe, we will do some hacking. Okay, so the first term that I want you to share, you guys, is cyber hygiene. And cyber hygiene, it works as a regular hygiene method. Okay, you take care of yourself, you take a bath, you change clothes. The same goes with online information. How much can a stranger know about yourself? And this goes even without interaction between both of them. Okay, so how much can I know about someone I met or I was about to meet on Tinder, for example? I could know a lot of stuff of that guy or that person that's supposed to be a guy. Okay, and this is called cyber hygiene and digital footprint. So here are some hacks that you can create for yourselves to do these cyber hygiene methods. Review your social media accounts. How open are they? Who can see the information? What type of information is out there? Do you have any photos with data, with personal data? And with this, sometimes we're just excited to share a moment that we don't stop to analyze what is on the photo. Imagine that you upload a photo of your new house, which is a huge moment for someone, right? But in the background, you have the letter of the street, and someone else is going to have that information. That photo has your graphical information. So you are sharing more than you just want to share. So that should be also something that you need to take into account. Also, we have some 2FA options for our accounts, and we will see a bit of this later. But yeah, also when using dating apps, you can use a Google number, which is a totally independent number from your personal number that you can use for these dating apps. And that increases the security, and you can continue with your normal life, okay? Because I think people won't just stop using these apps. So we need to add more security, to add tips to ensure that they are safe. So the methodology that we are going to use is called osint, which means open source intelligence. And in simple terms, it says that anything that is publicly available or that is legally gathered is osint information. So this goes from social media to blogs to your college blogs and articles. I do regular this on myself to see what information is out there on the internet. And I discovered there were articles from my university when I was starting, and I went on this tournament of volleyball. And there was a picture of me. And I was like, I didn't know this existed. Okay, so someone could try to search for my name and will get to the point to know where did I go to college, that I like volleyball, that I have a son, etc., etc., etc. So all this information, anyone can search for it. You just need a couple of tools that are free and easy to use. They're super friendly to use. So you don't need to know anything about code to do OSINT. And it's pretty cool. We'll see a bit later. So the first steps are to gather as much information as possible about someone. And believe me, if someone targets you, they will find the creative way to gather that information. Okay? And thanks to social media, OSINT has become easier and easier. Instagram has done that really, really great. We now have everything indexed thanks to the hashtags. So if you go to Instagram and want to target someone that just made 18 years old or 21 years old. I don't know what's the legal year here in Portugal. 21? 15? Ah, okay, 18 years old. Or you want to target people with new houses, new cars to see if there's a license plate there. You can search that by hashtags, and that's called indexing. And thanks Instagram, thanks social media, we have all there. Okay, so it's really impressive. So really think when you share a post, what hashtags are you adding, because you are helping anyone to find you. So now we will begin with some fun stuff of password hacking. And this is a small disclaimer that I need to show you guys. Otherwise, I will get in trouble. So yeah, I will ask about passwords, and you will say, okay, again, passwords. I mean, yes, passwords still a thing, okay? We still have people that uses passwords with personal information, with their mother's name, with their kid's name, with their cat's name, and and this happens. Okay, they just change cats. You can change babies, but you can change cats. So this is something that still happens and that I discovered during my master's where I did this experiment. It was crazy to see how easy it is to crack passwords because people allows that, okay? So some of the challenges when we talk about passwords is that we need to find the right balance between security and usability. We all know the best practices and that we need to have complexity and numbers and signs and use a different password for everything. And that just in this case, guys, size matters, okay? Just in this case. My husband is here like, okay, I won't say anything more. Okay, the second challenge is about striking the inconsistency between what people say and what they do, okay? There are studies which show that I will ask you, do you care about security? Do you care about your passwords? And do you actually have secure passwords? We'll see that in a bit, okay? That's inconsistent what I'm talking about. I will say also, like, of course I care my password, but when the time comes to create a new password, it all goes down to the drain. Okay, and the third challenge will be the technology growth rate versus the security adoption rate. And let's go back to the example on the toys for kids. That's increasing rapidly, but the security adoption rate for those toys is not increasing at the same rate. So that's an issue. So now here's my friend Clippy. For the people old enough to know Clippy on Windows XP, he's my assistant. And now I want you guys to be part of the numbers. So I set up this, I think, yeah, it's up and running. Just go to this link in a bit.
Until Leon gave you this link.
No. It's right there. Oh, you can see because you have this thingy. No, you can see. Fuck. Oops. Oh, yeah. So it's pauleve.com/Ana Arellano 490. Paul Eve. You should see it in a bit. Yeah, there it is. Okay, and I want you guys to answer. How many of you have been part of data breach that you know of? Okay, the last part is important.
How many of you did access the link without checking it?
Basically. Okay, and just go ahead. The guy with the hand in his face is like, oh no, I have been part of data breach. And the guy celebrating is like, yes, I'm free. Okay, I see some guys already answering here. Cool. Just start sitting there. Okay, cool. This is a weird audience because I usually see the opposite, but it's fine. I believe you're too scared to answer the truth, so.
The left, a no. The left is a no.
The right is a no. No, the right is a yes.
Made by you.
Okay, cool. So as you see, there's a lot of people that are aware that they have been part of a data breach. So I want to take this opportunity because it's the first time that I see this. So my next question, if someone is brave enough to answer, is, oh, what data breaches have you been part of? That you know, yeah.
Someone cracked an old password of mine when I was a kid.
Okay, cool. Anyone else? Do you still use that password?
No, no, no.
Are you sure?
I used it like once for to enter a game website when I was a kid.
Okay,
No.
cool. Someone
I
else?
had some weird guy trying to use my Netflix account, and now I created a password that's just random letters and numbers. And now it's
And now every time it log out, you need to go to the control, like tons of letters.
It's nightmare.
It's annoying, but yeah, good. Cool. Perfect. So I will show you guys a site where we can actually check if your accounts has been part of a data breach. So we have this site that is called Have I Been Pawned? Maybe you know it before. And I will share with you guys all this. So if you want to check in your phones, I think it works for phones. Uh, well, this site it's secure enough. You probably think like, okay, Anna, but I will type there my email and you would get it, and then I will type my password and you will get it. No, this is a safe place to check it. That's why I'm recommending it. Just don't go to any other site without verifying that it's legit and do this. Okay. So, for example, I will put my email. This is my mail to show you guys. So this mail, my current mail, has not been part of any data breaches. You will see it in a bit. And then I will show my old email, and you will see the difference. Okay, so it says, good news, no pan. But if I go to my older email, you will see the difference there. And you will see that I have been pawned or part of data breaches of 7 data breaches. And you can actually see which ones. So in a bit, you will see Adobe, Animoto that I didn't even remember that I had an account there, Check, Dubmash, MyFitnessPal, and Shane. Okay, so this is really important to do our cyber hygiene perform. Okay, I recommend you guys this. You can check all your emails here, and you can actually configure this to get an email when a new data breach has been released and your email was part of that data breach. So this is pretty cool. You also have this for companies. So yeah, it's cool. So let's continue. Now, after verifying for those guys, did anyone verify? Otherwise, I'll just skip this one. I'll skip it. Cool. So how many of you reuses passwords? Just go to the survey and answer.
Actually, I answered the last one because I already knew I was part of the bridge after verifying another account.
Yeah, usually it's the other way. That's why I skipped the last question. 50-50. Okay, we have more people reusing passwords. That's great for me. For the purpose of the talk. Cool. Now, imagine what will happen if your unique password that you reuse everywhere or almost everywhere, it's part of a data breach. So you are just like, oh, well, there's nothing else you can do, right? So let's check our passwords. You can see here on the same website, okay, your password. And again, this is a legit website. Don't do this on any other website that you might think. I will just put password 123. It's pretty obvious that this has been seen a lot of times, okay? That it has been part of data breaches before. So you can actually check here. I will just put my password. Okay, I think it's that one. And good news, no panic found. Okay, so if you use one password, at least ensure that it's a secure password. Okay? Cool. Let's continue. Perfect. So how many of you, for those who checked, are using pound passwords? Be honest, okay? We want to see people here. Not yet.
We actually don't.
Okay, we have a couple of people using palm passwords. Cool. So the next step for those using palm passwords and the same password for everything is just go and change your password. Okay, simple as that. Now, you are just changing your answers, guys. Just stop. So, password reuse. Okay, 80% of the hacking related breaches are caused because reused and stolen passwords. So this is one of the main points that we should focus our security, our personal security. Now, what we could do with all these passwords that we gather. Now let's go ahead and do some password cracking, okay? We have different ways of doing password cracking. And here comes Clippy at some point. Well, he will just ask if this is legal. I will put the disclaimer again to say that this is just for educational purposes. And yeah, I told you. And the method that we will use, it's called dictionary attack. And this doesn't mean just to throw a dictionary to someone until they tell your password, okay? It means that we create a dictionary, a list of words that could be possible passwords, like a dictionary. Okay, and we have different ways to create those dictionaries. The first one, I'll just skip to Have I Been Pawned, which is the site that we just saw. This site actually has all the passwords that have been breached available for anyone. So I could just go there, download the passwords, and start trying the password on an application for a specific user. It's as simple as that. Okay, you have them here. So, and you have other sites. You don't even need to go as deep as the dark web. Okay, you have it here. Google passwords, done. You then input them to a free tool that allows you to do that match of user and password, you get a hit, and that's it. Okay, that's why 2FA is really important at this point. Then we have different tools. One that I like to use is called COP, and I will just skip to here. Okay, is it sharing now? This is a Linux tool that basically allows you to create a dictionary for a target person. So do we have any volunteers now? Volunteers, we need a volunteer. Yeah. Okay. Your first name. Last name. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Do you have a nickname? Yeah. As in, like your friends called you or your girlfriend called you?
In the school, they call me Taisha.
Taisha. Cool. Let's use that one. Your birthday. I will just invent a birthday. Don't worry. Don't do. Okay. Partner's name. Sarah. You have a nickname for Sarah?
Well, not one that I can figure.
Cool. I will just invent another birthday. Child's name, I will leave it blank. But all this information is to create a possible list of passwords. And this is since most of the people use personal information, this is pretty effective. So you have a pet?
Yes.
Name?
The true name.
Yeah.
Mel. And honey in Portuguese. Mel.
Ah, like that?
Mel. M-E-L.
M-E?
E-L. No, she says.
Okay, spell it in English. M, así.
Mel.
M-E-L. Ah, it has a delay. That's why. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I will just add here Mindera because it's most probably. No. This is not a possible password for you. So Pedro just asked if this will generate a possible password that he can later use. And this is not the idea, okay? Okay, so we have instantly generated 5,000 passwords in just a couple of clicks. You'll see there, okay? And I can show you some of them. It goes Pedro. Okay, and it's a combination between the birth dates, the cat's name, the partner's name, his name, nicknames, etc. So it has a lot of combinations.
Now I know what I'm doing tonight. Just changing all.
Thank you. So that's another way to creating the dictionary. The sad thing is that I believe you. And also, you have things called RACU passwords, which are the most common passwords used in the past years. So also, publicly available from the internet. I will show you. I have downloaded some of them, so you guys can see at some point. Okay, so this is called SecList, and it contains numerous names of possible passwords for everything, for people, for specific services, for fuzzing, for discovery, for everything. So I will show you right there it is. I will go to passwords. Okay, and you will see here in a couple of seconds, maybe, that you will have different dictionaries. So you have, there is, you have in Dutch as well, because you have different languages. You have Citrix password, you have the worst password, the most used passwords updated to 2020. You have leaked databases, so that looks interesting. Let's go to that. Okay, and in here you will see different databases of passwords of breaches. And it's as simple as taking those lists and trying username and password. Okay, now that we have learned the importance of passwords, let's do some cracking of a wireless network and see if we can use those dictionaries to crack a wireless network. By a wireless network, I mean your home network or your company network or whatever network that is available. Okay, so what we will need, okay, disclaimer again. Cool. We will need an antenna. I'm using this one here today, so that's why we have like a whole setup here. I'm using the alpha network antenna, and the only requirement from this is to have an antenna that supports monitor mode. That's the only requirement. Okay, I'm using this one because I like that one. Then we will need a computer with Linux. I have this one. And we will use a tool that is called AirMount NG, and that does all the work for us. It's really simple to use, actually. And then we will need just our target network. And this was new for me. It was a challenge in terms of creating the network because I had hacked networks that already existed, but not having to create my network to test it. Okay, so I had to learn how to use a Raspberry Pi, which I have now here. So if something goes wrong, it's because of the Raspberry. Okay. So let's start. We'll now change the computer. Is this one? Okay. I have my notes because I have bad memory. So basically, I have set up a. Oh, you cannot see anymore. How clever. I have set up a network with the Raspberry that is running there, and it's called Analab. It has a WPA2 protocol, so it's secure, and it has a password. Okay, so what I'll be trying to do is to intercept a request of connection to that network, and then crack the password with that request. Now, I don't know what is not shown. It's hot in here. Yeah, really good. Thank you.
You killed the webcam.
So, a brief break.
Hi everyone, nice to see you.
So, until this point, do you have any questions or something to share? Funny story?
I have a question. Would you recommend a safe password is like a password?
Don't tell me the password.
No, it's like a password with like capital letters and lowercase letters and special characters and numbers, right? And at least like 64 characters.
So, okay.
But it's like 20
Yeah.
characters, that's it. So, but if we use a different password for each website, that's a lot of passwords.
Yeah.
And if they're all random, then there's no way. There's no. So, would you recommend the use of
It will be even more secure to use for example, a phrase from your favorite song or just a random song that it's 40 characters long, but it's easy to remember, than a 8 characters long password with capital letters and numbers. Yeah, but a passphrase instead of a password. So, yeah.
Okay, so like.
And it can be something that you can remember. It doesn't have to be completely random. But if you are keen to use a password manager, password manager.
I use a passphrase. It's some are passwords, others are passwords.
Yeah.
Maybe you can exemplify.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question, but should I wait?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's in the same topic.
Sure.
Even using passphrases, nowadays there are so many websites and accounts that we have to create. Even using a passphrase, it's not optimal. It's not easy to remember each passphrase, and so hence the use of password managers. But the thing I don't like about password managers is that they are a single point of failure. So like if the password manager
Just as your password manager when it's a post-it.
I didn't understand.
So a password manager can be from a post-it to an
Yes.
application, right?
Yes, but
So for those using a password manager post-it, it's also a single point of failure. I mean, how are you managing your password right now if you don't are using a password manager?
right now,
Try every single one of them.
every time we change passwords. I have 3 or 4 secure passwords, and I just repeat them on websites. So if one of them is compromised, then I only have to change some websites I use and not all of them. But
Exactly.
I don't use
And-
the password
And the
manager.
key point there will be to actually know that one has been compromised,
Yes.
right? Because you will see that breaches that we saw before, they only were exposed after a while. It was not immediately. So another recommendation will be to use 2FA,
Yeah, exactly.
which allows you to, even your password is compromised, they won't be able to access it that easily. And you will get like a notification that someone's trying to access because you just get the code of 2FA. Yeah. Okay, so this is super small. I'm a little bit blind, so I'm just trying to. Okay, cool. So, is it too small, guys? I think it's too small. Hold on. Ay, mi rodilla. Hold on.
You can use Control Plus.
Oh, thank you. Es que no sé en qué idioma está. Ay, sorry. Ay, mi rodilla. Estoy bien. Is that better? Okay. So, first of all, I will just show you. Here we will see all of our wireless extensions. Right now, the antenna is not connected, so maybe you guys want to come this way, or if you want, just if you want. So I will now connect it to show you guys how's that different. This antenna is basically like a listener, so it will just be listening to the connections to the networks that we have here today. So we'll do this again. And as you can see, this is my antenna, okay? So what we need to do is to put this in monitor mode, listening mode. Right now, you can see that it's managed, so I need to change that. And for that, I will use sudo. So sudo is a command that you run to get privilege. So it's like super do ermon ng, and then start. Oh no, hold on. I skipped one part. We need to kill all the current processes so I don't have any trouble from here. Okay, so this part is important because I already have some network processes running on this computer. So from this point, I will be without internet on this computer. I would just be listening to the networks. So in this case, I only had this process running, but if you try this, you might have another process. So that's not important. So now let's go to double check. Everything okay? Cool. So now let's change to monitor mode with Ermon start. This is tricky because I need to select all these. Cool. Perfect. Perfect. So it's now saying that it has started in monitor mode, and it changed the name to WLAN 0 mode. So that will be easier for me later on. I will just double check with this command again. Okay, and you can see here that it's mode monitor, and before it was managed. Okay, so we're good to go. Now let's start discovering access points. Access points, I mean networks around here. So let's do sudo dump ng dump ng. Cool. On. So what I'm doing is starting the listening on this interface, which is the antenna. Okay, so that will start listening, and you can see here all the networks that are available that are reachable from my antenna. Okay, this is the MAC address of all the networks. And in here, you will start seeing the stations are devices. So if you guys are connected to any of these, you will probably see here your MAC address. You probably don't know your MAC address, so don't worry. But that's it, okay? So the network that we want to hack, it's this one, Ana Lab. So I'll just stop that so that we can see. Ana Lab, that it's running with WPA2 protocol, running on channel 7, and this is the MAC address, okay? So let's keep that in mind. So let's run the monitor mode only on that channel. So display only. Is it the same one? No. So I'll have to come here, 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 and copy this. Okay, so I will start the monitor mode to display only that network. So I have only Ana Lab, and now I'll connect my phone. Chicky, chicky. So you can see my phone, but you will have to trust me, okay? Available networks. We can actually see available networks. Not in this one. At some point. No. Here it is, okay? Ana Lab, can you guys see? Ana Lab, and now it's connected. Okay? Ah, smart. Is that enough? Okay. Cool. So now it's connected, and I can see that it's here, right? You guys saw that appear when I connected. This is my MAC address, and this is the MAC address of the wireless network. So the idea of this attack is to launch the authentication attack to anyone at that network, and then when they need to log in again, I will catch that request, and I will use it to do some password cracking. Okay, so I will close this one. Fuck. How do I open a new tab? Control Shift. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Okay. I will launch the authentication attack to anyone on the network that will be me in this case. For that, I will just, oh, fuck. Hold on, sorry guys. Okay, I think that's close enough. So for that, I will start. Okay. Here. The first step that I need to do is to start capturing. I wrote dump ng w captura. I will name this captura so you know that this is legit that I'm doing right now. And do you remember that the network was running on channel 7? We have it here. So I will put capture the network on channel 7 and the ID of our network, which is this one. Okay. And on our interface, which is the antenna. Okay. Oh, fuck. I should disconnect the antenna. Okay, let's go again. Okay. I need to start again. Sorry, so I will go super quick with this again. Mode manage. So let's start this one. Cool. I will just give a clear here. And now we can start capturing. Okay, cool. Now it's working. Oh, wait. So now it's doing the same. It's listening, but this time it's writing whatever is listening to a file that is named captura captura. Okay, so now I will launch the authentication attack, which is, I don't, uh, airplay ng. There it is, amazing. Okay, the authenticate all of the devices that are connected to this network using this interface, which is our antenna. And this by itself is a pretty cool attack. It's just like a denial of service. I will just authenticate anyone on the network, and it's pretty cool and simple. And I just need like one click to it, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, let's continue with our attack. Of course. Okay, and now on my phone, I will get the authenticated, hopefully. Oh, crap. I think it's another. Hold on. That one. Okay, so now it's sent. Okay, so I just got the authenticated, as you see. Okay, nothing blue here. So I will connect again. I will stop this, otherwise I will get disconnected again. And a lab is connected. And if I go here, now I have a handshake. Okay, this wasn't here before. I just got that handshake when I re-authenticated to the network. And now I will use that handshake to do the dictionary attack. So I will stop this. I will show you guys the file. Oh, wait. It's here, captura, captura. Okay, captura, captura are these ones, just right now. And I will use them to do some password cracking. So for that, we will use crack. With captura, captura. And I have generated the password. I will use the RACU that I showed you before as a password dictionary. So we will see if we find the passwords. It was super quick. Okay. It tested 12 of a lot of keys. And the key found it was 129. So that's the password of the network. So it's as simple as that, as to upload the dictionary and just leave this thing running, and you will find the password of the network. And now I just gain access to the network because I can connect. Okay, so that's the main idea. Hopefully it was cool to watch. So let me just go back to my laptop to some final thoughts.
For this to work, you need a client to rejoin in the.
Yeah, but you can just make everyone to log out. So you could do that because you have the MAC addresses of the devices that we saw before. You can choose just one to log out, and then you can use that one. But you will have to be waiting until that user logins again. So the easiest thing is to log out everyone from that network. Of course, that causes troubles on the network and the users, but it's part of the tech.
And it can be possible to see the name of the device. They appear in the list, or
You can see the MAC address of the device.
not a name.
No,
It can be easier.
you can have it all.
Whenever we have to reconnect here to the internet, it's you doing things, right?
So every time you connect to Mindera team, just remember that we are watching. Okay. So some final thoughts on passwords, which is like my favorite topic, is to treat passwords like underwear. Okay. We don't reuse them. We don't leave in our desk, and we don't share them with anybody, hopefully. Okay? Some more final thoughts for your personal networks on your homes. To reset the Wi-Fi router name and password to something specific that you put, because even the name of the router gives out alert information. So that can help someone to hack your network. So enable WPA2 encryption on your networks. Don't use without password, basically. For your personal devices, computers, phones, etc., turn this encryption. It is free. It's simple to use and to do. So just go ahead and take advantage of that. And if your company provides a VPN while doing remote working, always use the VPN. Of course, antivirus, blah, blah, blah. These strong passwords, 2FA. So almost all platforms now support 2FA. It's free. It's easy to set up. Also, if you need help, we can talk later, and I can help you do that. And password managers, okay? Password managers that are not Post-its. And the final thoughts, tips to don't become a victim. Maintain a good cyber hygiene, and do this activity for yourselves periodically. Look up yourself online. What is it out there? Because believe me, if someone targets you, they will be creative enough to find out information about yourself. So be more skeptical online, and really make sure that who you are talking to is really that person. And the super final thoughts is that, sorry, just to close up, social engineering is easier than actually technical hacking. So we as human beings, we trust in people. So if someone targets us, they will be creative and they will find a way for us to trust in them. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.